Welcome back, coin lovers and history enthusiasts. In today's video, we'll be talking about the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar, a coin struck at the Denver Mint during a fascinating period in U.S. coinage history. Even if your coin is in bad condition, it still carries historical and collector significance, and today we'll dive into all the details you need to know. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. His portrait was placed on the half dollar as a tribute to his leadership and legacy, replacing the Franklin half dollar design that had been in use since 1948. By 1972, the Kennedy half dollar had already become a familiar piece of American currency. The obverse of the 1972 D half dollar features the portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The design shows Kennedy facing left, with the word "Liberty" above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" split across his neck, and the date 1972 at the bottom. Just beneath the neck, you'll find the small D mint mark, indicating the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, features the presidential seal. An eagle with wings spread holds a bundle of arrows in its left claw and an olive branch in its right claw, symbolizing America's strength in defense and its desire for peace. Above the eagle's head is a circle of 50 stars, and surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. In terms of composition, the 1972 D half dollar was struck in copper-nickel clad, with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This was the standard composition for circulating half dollars starting in 1971, after silver was completely removed from the series. The coin weighs 11.34 grams, measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. Its large size makes it easy to spot compared to smaller denominations, and many collectors appreciate its bold design and hefty feel in the hand. The Denver Mint struck over 141 million half dollars in 1972, so the 1972 D is not considered rare. However, the year is still significant because these coins were heavily used in circulation at the time, meaning many surviving examples are found in poor or worn condition today. If your 1972 D half dollar is in bad condition, with scratches, heavy wear, or discoloration, it will generally only be worth its face value of 50 cents. Collectors place the highest premiums on coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition, while circulated examples are usually common. That said, even a worn 1972 D half dollar tells a story. Every scratch and mark reflects decades of use in commerce, passing through countless hands, banks, and businesses. For many collectors, the historical journey of a coin is just as important as its physical appearance. High-grade examples of the 1972 D half dollar can be worth more, especially if graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. An MS-65 or higher example may sell for $10 to $20, while superbly preserved coins in MS-67 can fetch much more. But again, heavily circulated coins don't usually bring collector premiums. One area of interest for the 1972 half dollar is error varieties. Collectors sometimes find double dies, striking errors, or planchet flaws that make certain coins more valuable. While the 1972 D doesn't have any famous double die varieties, error coins always attract attention when they appear. The coin also reflects the economic realities of the early 1970s. By 1972, silver had been fully removed from circulating half dollars for over a year, as rising silver prices made it impractical to keep the metal in coinage. The copper-nickel clad design was cheaper to produce and more durable in circulations. The 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar also highlights an interesting point in collecting history. Many Americans in the 1970s still saved half dollars out of habit, even though the coins were no longer silver. This means that millions were tucked away in jars and drawers, contributing to their survival today. Despite being common, the Kennedy half dollar remains one of the most collected U.S. coins of the modern era. Collectors often assemble date and mint mark sets, and the 1972 D is an important part of that lineup. If you're holding a 1972 D half dollar in bad condition, it may not have high monetary value, but it still makes an excellent teaching piece. It shows the change in coinage metals, the history of American design, and the story of President Kennedy's enduring legacy. For beginners, finding a 1972 D in circulation is often the first step into the hobby. It's affordable, widely available, and connects you with one of the most famous U.S. coin series. For seasoned collectors, the challenge lies in finding high-grade examples with strong strikes and clean surfaces. The Kennedy half-dollar series has gone through many changes over the decades, from silver to clad, from circulation coins to mostly collector-only issues. The 1972 D sits in the middle of that history, representing the fully clad era when these coins were still made in huge numbers for everyday use. Bad condition coins also remind us about coin circulation habits. Half-dollars were heavily used in the 1960s and 1970s but fell out of favor in everyday transactions in later decades. Today, most people rarely see half-dollars in change, making older circulated pieces feel like relics of a bygone time. Another reason collectors hold on to the 1972 D half-dollar is its connection to the Kennedy family legacy. Coins are more than metal, they carry cultural and emotional meaning. The Kennedy half-dollar became a symbol of remembrance for many Americans after 1963, and that feeling still lingers today. So while a 1972 D half-dollar in bad condition might not sell for big money, it remains valuable in another way, as a piece of American history that you can hold in your hand. For collectors, historians, or even casual coin finders, it's worth far more than its face value in terms of meaning. To sum up, the 1972 D Kennedy half-dollar may not be rare, and in bad condition, it may only be worth 50 cents. But when you consider its design, its role in U.S. monetary history, and its cultural connection to President Kennedy, this coin is still special. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into U.S. and world coins.